I'm Locum23 and you're joining me for BloodBound 2, Chapter 2, The Bloodkeeper. After returning to your room, you were kidnapped by a mysterious stranger. Now you float in a murky darkness as your mind floods with strange visions. Okay, whiteness, I've been clicking for a while. You suffer as I suffered. You did this to me. You did this. Every step you take brings you closer to me, to reunification, to rebirth. Do not fight the blood. Embrace it. You shoot awake. You wake up and find yourself in a small, yet decadent bedchamber. Where am I? You look around feeling woozy. Phone's gone, weird creepy place, and my head feels like it's going to explode. Awesome. How am I gonna get out of here? Does anyone even know I'm gone? I seem to be alone, and the silence is disconcerting. Alright, okay, suck it up, Amy. You can figure this out. I'll try the door. You slip off the bed and make your way to the door, trying the knob. Come on. When you pull on the handle, nothing happens. It's locked. Of course. Looking around the room for something to use as a weapon, you notice a frame containing only a single fragment of a painting. Huh? You feel called to the fragment, like it's singing in your head, drawing you in. The voice is soft, delicate, familiar. A woman. I don't... Before you realize it, you find yourself reaching out to touch it. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. You find yourself hurled through the past, thousands of years, into an opulent throne room. The preposterous city-state of Medea, 18th century BC. King Callisis sits upon his throne, surrounded by his most trusted advisors. Looking out at the crowded room, people shift on their feet, whispering. Enough! Let the trial begin! The crowd parts, and a woman is brought forth, flanked by guards who force her to stand before the throne. One guard pushes the woman to her knees. On your knees at last. The guard plants his foot on the back of the tied-up woman, forcing her prostrate before the king. Priestess Rhea, so kind of you to join us. Please, my king, I have done no wrong. We'll see about that. The court official stands beside the throne, addressing the room full of spectators. Oh, God, you're a prick in 2 generations, aren't you? We assemble today for the trial of Rhea, priestess of the goddess of Flambra, patron of blood and life. Upon a visit to the temple, Vampire, our beloved king, Callisis, saw the visage of this priestess and was smitten with her. He demanded she be his. The priestess refused. When the king tried to persuade her, she attacked him, clawed my face like a feral beast. My king, what punishment would you find fitting for these abominable crimes? Death. No, this is not right. This is just. Or not just. You spurned the king, did you not? Only to stay true to my betrothed. I have sworn a vow to be with none other. Enough talk, you will die for your treason. The king nods and a guard comes forward and unsheaths a sword. My goddess, I am sorry to have failed you. Wait! What is this? A young man comes to stand before Rhea. The crowd whispers at the side. Father, this woman swore sacred vows under the eyes of the gods above. Surely you must respect that. Spare me, my son. Respect? Why should I respect the gods who give us famine and sickness? Who gives women the right impudence to refuse me? If you kill this woman, you shall incur their anger. You will bring doom on this kingdom. The crowd murmurs clearly, hearing the young prince's message. King seems to think it over, looking displeased. Very well. She shall not be killed. She shall be exiled instead, to the depths of the caves beyond the city. What? She appeals to her goddess, then let us leave her fate in her hands. If a goddess wills it, she'll live, and if not, well, then perhaps I was right all along. It's settled. To the caves with her! The crowd laughs and cheers. Xenocrates bows his head in shame, unable to meet Rhea's gaze. Priestess, I'm sorry. No, please, no! A soldier comes forward and yanks Rhea to her feet, forcing her out of the throne room. Sometime later, the soldier brings Rhea to the mouth of the massive cave to approach its yawning maw and the darkness within. Please, sir, I'll never have a chance in here with my hands bound. Do me this much, if nothing else. The soldier, a handsome young man, hesitates. His eyes glisten with tears. He's clearly tormented. Please, I'm begging you. The soldier looks to see if anyone has followed them, but they are alone. Then he takes out a knife to cut through Rhea's bindings. Oh. Soldier hands the knife to Rhea. Why, thank you. I shall not forget this kindness. I pray for your health and happiness. She stares at the cave and the pit that lies beyond, feeling herself. If the gods will it, then I shall live. And then with a shudder, she turns and walks into the darkness. The soldier watches, stunned, and a single tear runs down his cheek. Oh. You jerk back into the present with a rush. It's the second time you've passed out. What was that? You found a fragment of the mysterious portrait. Collect all portraits, find out what's going on, and at the end, have something... Yeah, I figured. Portrait fragments will unlock flashbacks of the past and reveal the mysterious secrets of the vampire world. Collect them all to learn the truth and unlock a special bonus scene at the end of the book, where you can parse out what you saw. The door clicks open, and behind you, a man steps in. Oh! Jameson. What the hell? Amy. Jameson. You saw the fish, didn't you? I thought as much. What? I don't understand. Where am I? What am I doing here? These and more questions will be answered next week, But he ignores you, happily looking from you to the painting fragment. You have the gift, after all. A moment. I was genuinely worried. What are you talking about? The future. Jameson, get me out of here now. I'm afraid I can't do that just yet, Amy. But why? What do you want with me? All will be explained shortly. Why did you bring me here, Jameson? Because I had an inkling that you were a Bloodkeeper. It seems I was correct. That explains nothing. Jameson laughs softly, coming over to fondly stroke the frame containing the fragment. Allow me to indulge you in a bit of history, Amy. 300 years ago, I was a scholar, dutifully serving my master, Gaius Augustusson, the second son, the true vampire king. And as one of the few vampires with psychic abilities, I was trusted servant, and he tasked me with finding ways to fully harness my powers. Yeah, because that seems perfectly normal. During my studies, I came upon quite a fascinating bit of vampiric lore, one referenced everywhere, from Phoenician tablets to Egyptian scrolls, the Bloodkeeper. Yeah, you mentioned that. Are you going to tell me what that means? All vampires share a single bloodline, descended from the first vampire, passed down from maker to turned. That bloodline gives us power, it makes us who we are, and yet according to my research there was another bloodline, one in parallel to ours, the Bloodkeeper line. To each generation of humans, a single woman was born, her blood tied to ours. This woman is a Bloodkeeper, human, frail, vulnerable, and yet within her a great psychic power, one she could harness if she knew how. The power to experience the memories of all vampires who had ever walked the earth. The Bloodkeeper is me. That is why I brought you here, to this fragment. I wanted to test it for myself. You passed, Amy. You saw the vision. You are the Bloodkeeper. No way, this is too bizarre. Even for me. Think about it, Amy. Makes sense, does it not? Are you kidding? None of this even makes any sense. I've been waiting for the Bloodkeeper for so long, and finally I found her. I thought we were friends. I thought you were Adrian's friend. Oh, we are, Amy, and since we're friends, I need a little favor. Oh, that's not how friends work, dog. That's... Okay, moving on. Emerson... Please don't feed on me. Emerson laughs, somewhat surprised. You will not be on the menu tonight, Amy. At least, not for me. What are you talking about? You're not here for me. Rather, you're here tonight for my master. Excuse me. And he requests you to join him for dinner. Emerson pauses, looking you over with a critical eye. Not my forwardness, but dinner tonight is on the formal side. Your taste in attire does not quite fit my master's. And my master does love a proper introduction. It will please him greatly if you were to dress for the occasion. Maybe if I suck up to his master, I can get on his good side, figuring out a way to out of here. Scarlet Stunner. Not a bad dress. But no thank you. I mean, I think what I'm wearing is perfectly fine, thank you very much. If you think I'm going to change just to make my kidnapper happier, you must be out of it. Oh, that's disheartening. But if you insist. Jameson leads you to an opulent dining room lit by massive, glittering chandelier. A grand meal laid out on the table before you. Whoa. You spot a roasted duck, Brussels sprouts with pancetta, beef tartare, asparagus wrapped in bacon. Despite your frustration and fear, your stomach betrays you with a loud rumble. This could feed a small kingdom. I'm glad you find it to your liking. You turn and see a man step out of the shadow. He gives you a small yet perfect bow. He pulls back his hood, revealing a face hidden behind an ornate gold mask, but beneath it you can see a pallid gray skin and a smell of dry rot. You must be Amy. Yes, that's me. His voice is smooth, elegant, charming, yet just a touch of sinister like a breeze blowing through a tomb. I must admit. Did they just already give the name on the guy? Alright. I had hoped to see you in something more befitting of your beauty. Sorry. No matter. I suppose there are just some people who prefer polyester blends to fine silk. Gaius pulls out a chair for you, inviting you to sit. Play along. You decide to play along. For now, you sit uneasily in the chair and let Gaius push it in for you. Then, with a flip of the tail of his robe, Gaius sits in the chair across from you. He gestures across the length of the table. Please, help yourself to anything you like. Slowly, under his watchful gaze, you pile some food onto your plate. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Gaius Augustine. Please, call me Gaius. Nice to meet you. Likewise. I've been looking forward to this evening for some time now. You have? How? How do you know about me? After I heard that you'd become quite involved with my prodigy, I couldn't help but want to know more about you. I hope you can forgive our unconventional methods for bringing you here. Prodigy, you're the one who turned Adrian, aren't you? I'm delighted your intellect matches your beauty. And Camilla, did you turn her too? Yes. She was always dearest to my heart, my queen, my... He trails off for a moment, lost in thought, his emotion inscrutable behind the mask on his face. So is this like a test? You want to know if I'm good enough for them? Gaius laughs softly. Nothing so antagonistic. This is just two adults sharing a dinner. Nothing more. You kidnapped me. That's pretty damn antagonistic. Had I come to you, you would have not understood. They would not have understood. This can't be just about dinner. There must be some other reason you brought me here. How perceptive. I'm sure Jameson has already filled you in on the law surrounding the Bloodkeeper. Sort of. You're here, Amy, to help us with a noble cause. Gaius rises and paces towards you. Even though the mask, through this mask, his eyes seem to bore into you. For as long as I've been alive, and I've been alive a very, very long time, I've only dreamt of one thing. A world in which vampires have no need to hide in the shadows. A world where we no longer fear the stake or blade, where we can live our lives and be free. But like most dreamers, I was punished for dreaming too big. I was struck down for my daring, my vision. Gaius moves behind you, his hand gently running along the back of your neck, his cold fingertips sending a chill down your spine. But now I walk again, dream again, I feel dared, hope for a brighter future. You are an instrumental to my future, Amy. Ask what he means. Me? As a Bloodkeeper, you are able to access the memories of all vampires who came before. Jameson has been slowly testing your ability. He scattered psychic fragments for you to find, ones that should have sparked visions. You recall them? I'm not sure. That's why we are here. To assist you, Amy, and in turn, for you to help our cause. What do you even need from me? This very specific set of memories, one that will help usher in this glorious era. And if you comply, I promise that I will not lay a hand on anyone you care about. I'll ensure you live a long, happy life with your friends. So, Amy, will you help us? I accept. If you promise that we'll all be safe, then I'll do it. Smart girl. In a flash, Jameson is suddenly behind you. Wait! Jameson takes your head between his hands. You struggle, but can't shake him off. Please hold still. Do it. No, An electric surge rushes through you, scorching hot and right behind your eyes. Like you were gonna, fight against two vampires, let's be honest. The feast before you swirls away in a cyclone of colors, and then you're in a vast, dizzying darkness. What is... Images float by, or you seem to be floating through them. You can't tell. They'll go fast, but you manage to catch a few. You see Camila standing in a tent in ancient Egypt, her hands slick with blood. You see Adrian prowling a battlefield looking grim and determined. You see Priestess Rhea huddled beside a bone-white tree in a cave. You stop at the image of a tomb. Someone in a robe is crouched beside an ancient sarcophagus. Who is... The figure looks around nervously, brings something out of their pocket, a vial of sparkling blood flecked with gold. As you watch, the figure places the vial in the golden amulet. Oh, we've seen that before, actually. And then you're wrenched hard back into the present, gasping and panting like you've just surfaced after being underwater. There, I found it. Dining room spins for a moment, and you clutch the table. Film what? Who? What's... I found it, Master, the vial. It's in the Amulet of Nero. Gaius claps his hands together in delight. Last, we are so close, my friend. So close to making our dream a reality. As your vision settles, the reality of what just happened sets in. You used me. You needed that vision, and you used me to get it. On the contrary, though you were the vessel for what we sought, I still wish to partake in your radiant company. BS. And your elegant charm. I think you owe me some kind of explanation. Since you took what you needed from me, the least you can do is explain what you were looking for. Weren't you paying attention? The visions, they went by so fast I couldn't quite hold on to them. You won't need to. Not again. You're going to have to explain that. You didn't get Gaius to reveal his plans. No, I'm not. I must thank you, Amy, for helping us this evening. It was proven invaluable. Gaius takes a moment to consider you, his head cocked slightly to one side. I'm a man of my word. Your friend's my prodigy. I won't harm them. Why should I believe that? Even after everything they did to wrong me, even after they turned traitor against me, I love them too much to allow them to suffer. And as for you, Amy... He lifts a crystal wine glass, its deep red contents sloshing viscously. You have no idea the gift you've given me. I won't forget it. He sips from the glass and waves a hand at Jameson. Enough. We must go. Wait, you have to let... Before you can finish, Jameson again takes your head between his hands and you fall, once again and more into darkness. There, in the dark, you hear a voice. The sap of the tree rests in a blessed chalice. The sky shall turn red, the earth shall be torn asunder, and the first shall walk again. Amy! Amy! Snap awake with a gasp. Amy, are you alright? You look around in a panic and realize you're back in a room you woke up in. Adrian, is this a vision? You reach out and take his hand, relieved to find that he's very real. No, it's me, I'm here. Warn him. Adrian, I think something awful has happened. You shouldn't be here if he finds you. Hold on. We'll deal with one thing at a time. How did you even find me here? I was investigating the disappearances in Central Park when I remembered that one vampire we hadn't yet questioned. Jameson, Adrian nodded sadly, was reading through the reports given by bystanders who all seemed to be suffering some degree of memory loss. It didn't take much time to put the two together. I came to ask Jameson some questions and found the museum empty. I came up to his quarters, and here you are. I've been that close to you this whole time. Adrian bends down to your level, looking in your eyes. Amy, what happened tonight? Are you alright? If he hurt you, I swear! Your head is still spinning, and you find yourself beginning to ramble, unable to properly articulate what you experienced. Jameson didn't hurt me, not directly. He was telling me something about a Bloodkeeper, and then I saw a vision, and everything was so confusing. And then I met his master, and they said they used me to see some memories. I'm so sorry, Adrian. I tried to fight them, but Gaius was so insistent. The muscles in Adrian's jaw tightened and his brow furrowed. Did you say Gaius? Yes, Gaius Augustin. No, it can't be. There's movement at the door, and you turn to see Camilla enter the room. For the very first time, she looks frightened. Adrian, the onyx sarcophagus, it's empty. Then that means Gaius is free. This can't be happening. No, not again. Adrian turns to you, troubled. We need to get out of here now. You get up to follow them, and as you walk by the dresser, your eyes skim over a stack of papers, the word Bloodkeeper catching your attention. Huh? Looks like Jameson's research on vampires and Bloodkeepers. All his information. I could learn a lot from this. If what they say is true, I could learn a lot about me. Reading Jameson's notes will provide more information on lore and everything, and secrets of the Council, to the history of the Bloodkeepers. Why not? You pick up Jameson's notes and leaf through them. Read about vampires. Wow, there's gonna be a lot to read, holy crap. Jameson, the common perception of vampires is that we are undead, yet nothing can be further from the truth. Our hearts still beat, our lungs still breathe, we still taste, love, feel. If anything, we are more alive. Psychologically, our bodies are no different than any humans. Our organs are the same, our bones, our brains. We function just as they do, and break just as easily. Yet while they stay broken, we heal. While they die, we live. Vampire powers. There are some powers all of a kind share, even the feral beast. We possess exceptional strength, speed greater than any man. We heal all but the most mortal of injuries. We possess senses greater than any beast that walks the earth. Our powers are far rare. A small number possess the ability to influence and read minds, to manipulate the will and memory of others. Besides myself, I know of at least 2 other psychic vampires in the world. Seraphin Dupont of the Old Kingdom and Kano Yoshimasa of Japan. Reinhardt III of Bavaria possessed the ability to shoot flames from his hands. I saw him do it on the battlefield. Many sources claim Akia Bonji of Kenya could turn invisible, and Vlad Tempest, incorrigible as he was to show off his ability to hover over the ground. Vampire weaknesses. Vampires do not have many weaknesses, but the ones we do have are fatal. Remove the head, vampire dies. This much is simple. Our blood is not enough to heal a wound of that magnitude. The heart is more complex. Merely puncturing is not enough. A vampire could survive a bullet that passed clean through, but putting something through the heart and keeping it there for at least 30 seconds, that will bring swift death. The sun is our last threat. It will not kill instantly, but it will slowly burn the flesh away. The younger the vampire, the more vulnerable they are to the sun's light. Okay, back. Secret history. Oh my god, there's so much. For all my scholarship, the first vampires remain a mystery even to me. What little I know from Gaius, and he has shared the merest of morsels. I know as a mortal woman she was born some time around the 8th century BC on an island somewhere in the Mediterranean. I do not know how she became a vampire, but that when she did, she was truly magnificent. She could walk in the daylight, she could topple buildings, she was the goddess, more goddess than mortal, a being of pure power, the source of all life she could have. She should have forged a web for a world of her progeny, a world of our own, and yet somehow she was slain. Our kind have lived in darkness ever since. Gaius Augustine. The influence of Gaius Augustine cannot be overstated. Insofar as vampires have existed as a global force, it has been because of Gaius. I do not know who the first son was, but I know who he had no prodigy, which means every vampire alive comes from the line of Gaius. He is very literally our maker. It was Gaius who defended us in the dark days of Europe, Gaius who brought us to America, who built our kingdom, Gaius who protected us, who fought for us, and was willing to burn the world for us. Some of his progeny have grown soft and weak. They fear his vision, his strength, but his true followers, his true acolytes, will love him for it. Global affairs. Thanks to the valiant efforts of Gaius, America remains a safe haven for vampires, but in that sense, it is alone in the world. The Order of the Dawn controls Europe, forcing all brethren to live in hiding or face the stake. Latin America and Africa harbor smaller communities, but only dwell in tentative agreements with greater powers that rule there. The only vampire community I know of that on par with the American Shadow Kingdom are the Five of Japan. I've reached out to them to broker an alliance and only received silence back. It seems they prefer to rule alone. Jameson. I was born in what was known as King Hong Kong in 1621. I worked as a bookkeeper, clerk, and tax collector. It was a simple life, dual, even never in a mortal life did I have a sense of my psychic abilities. I took a journey to London when I was 34 years of age to accompany my employer. I was there in the dark alley where I met Gaius. I was drawn to him, to his power, to his essence. I begged him to turn me. It was 3 decades before my psychic powers awakened, a century before I truly learned to use them. I do not know why I was so blessed, but yet I could not be more honored. Gaius gave me purpose, he gave me strength, he gave me life and meaning and power beyond imagining. I live to serve him, I live to please him, and one day I know he will understand the depths of my devotion. I can respect that. The Council. Send help, please! Viola Crox is something of an enigma. I've been unable to find much of her mortal identity. She claims she was born in America in the late 1800s, but even so often I can hear soft Mumbai accent when she talks. Vega turned her, mostly out of affection, I suppose. She's certainly beautiful and plays the role of coquette. She hides a great intelligence, a true ruthlessness. What makes Priya truly alarming is not that she's vicious, but her viciousness runs so cold, so careful, so calculated. Above all, she is a survivor, not to be trusted. Excuse me. Lester Castellanos is one of the older members of the Council. Born in Greece under Ottoman rule in the 15th century, Lester carved a name for himself as both a wealthy merchant and a conniving political leader. I've never quite understood what Gaius saw in Lester. Perhaps his mercantile intellect has some value, or perhaps Gaius simply enjoys his humor. What I find most striking about Lester is how, despite being 500 years old, he still seems utterly enamored with earthly pleasures. Food, drink, flesh. Most of us outgrew those within a century, but Lester seems as driven by them as an immortal. Truly a strange man. The Baron. The Baron was born Cecile Romano IV in 1882. The son of a wealthy merchant, he quickly became involved with organized crime, and by 1919 was the single most powerful mobster in New York City. The Baron of Brooklyn, they called him. Gaius turned him for practical reasons. He needed enforcers. The Baron gave him control over the entirety of the city's criminal underworld. In truth, I find the man detestable, cruel, small-minded, utterly disinterested in the intellectual pursuits. I would never doubt Gaius' wisdom, but the Baron does give me pause. Okay. Nothing about Adrian or, Camilla, but okay. Bloodkeepers. The Bloodkeepers are a mystery that have haunted me for the last century, ever since I discovered the 3 separate references to them in the works of the late great vampire scholar, Quintus Vesuvius of Pompeii. I know they were always women. I know there's one born to a generation. I know that it seems to be shared within a same family, but not necessarily transmitted mother to daughter. Most of them go their whole lives without ever knowing anything special about them, but a few of them that become involved with our kind begin to experience visions. Visions I have come to realize are the memories of our whole line. The Bloodkeepers, the vampires, we are tied together, 2 strands of the same helix, 2 droplets of blood running down the opposite sides of the blade. But how? Why? It's a mystery I must solve. I think we're done! You tuck your new find under your arm. I'm sure this'll come in handy. Sometime later, you and Adrian and Camilla return to Adrian's office. Amy! Lily rushes forward to hug you. Relieved, you sink in her embrace. Are you okay? Tell me you're okay. I'm fine, Lil. Just shaken up. Adrian steps over and squeezes your shoulder, his touch firm and reassuring. You're here now, and you're safe with us. And I promise you, this will never happen again. I'll protect you, no matter what it takes. You press your cheek to his hand, and trying to lose yourself in his touch, but then the events of tonight begin to catch up to you, leaving you dizzy and winded. Put your head in your hands, and emotional tightening throat. Guys, it's not Gaius. I mean, it is, but it's not what he did. It's what he told me. I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't know if I'm human. What are you talking about? They said I was something called a Bloodkeeper, some kind of, I don't know, psychic, that I can access memories of all vampires. And I don't want to believe that it's true, but things I saw, the visions. Amy. Lily comes to sit next to you on the floor, her arm around your shoulders. I'm not sure what a Bloodkeeper is, but even if you are one of them, that doesn't mean you're not, Amy. I'm not human anymore, but I'm still Lily, right? She's right. Tonight was a lot for you, and you must be troubled, but you're still the same Amy we know and care for. Yeah, don't let some assholes tell you what you are and what you aren't. I know, but I'm sick of not knowing anything. Every step I take is 2 steps back, and I can't stand it. Your anger is understandable, but hopefully we can unravel the truth tonight. Then that'll just lead to more questions. I'm tired of being in the dark too, Amy. You're not alone in this. You breathe heavily for a moment and then lean your hand on her head on her shoulder. I know. Adrian walks to the center of the room and you all look at him expectantly. I think we all have questions that deserve answers. The vampire you met tonight, Amy, is Gaius Augustine. He's my maker, Camilla's too, and he's far more powerful than all of us combined. Or rather, he used to be. Why do you sound sad about that? He kidnapped Amy. His feelings, our feelings toward Gaius are complicated. He was once charming, loyal, brilliant. We followed him eagerly. And not just us, the Baron, Lester, Prior, and many others, we willingly obeyed him for centuries. He helped the vampires in Europe migrate to America in order to make a new world for ourselves. Gaius made America his playground. He helped the colonists win the Revolutionary War, and in turn was allowed to create a shadow kingdom here. A secret world of vampires, allowed to operate with impunity. He ruled as the Vampire King of North America for many years. We operated under the cover of night without anyone the wiser. Hold up, did you say Vampire King? Gaius maintained his rule for centuries, keeping everything status quo. He used Camilla and me as his enforcers, as soldiers, as executioners. And we did as commanded. But in the 1920s, his ambitions grew again. He announced a plan to keep thousands of humans under control as blood banks. The rest he would kill off with a modified strain of smallpox. The Reaper virus. But clearly you stopped him. We did. It took all the 6 original council members, me, Camilla, Pryor, Lester, Barron, and Vega. Even then, we barely managed to beat him. We put him in the onyx sarcophagus, which should have contained him forever. But now Jameson has found some way to free him. How does Jameson fit into this? He was one of the many vampires who followed Gaius, almost to the point of worship. It's my fault, really. I've been friends with Jameson for so long, I didn't suspect he was still loyal. He played a long con. No one could be trusted. Are we forgetting an important question? What is Gaius after? What did he do this or why did he do this in the first place? The memory they wanted. Something about a tomb and a vial inside of something called the Amulet of Nero. That's all I can remember. It's clear he's after the vial, but what's inside of it? Adrian and Camilla glance at each other. Well, there's only one thing that I can think of. The blood of the first vampire. No. Wait, hold on. We're getting into some Castlevania stuff here. The first vampire's blood? Didn't she die ages ago? She did. But it is said a vial of her blood was saved. The purest, strongest example of our line. Gaius has always been a believer in it. It was his holy grail. He spent so many resources trying to track it down. What's so special about this blood? The first vampire had unimaginable power. She could control all of our blood. She could work magic. Real, honest magic. And if Gaius were to drink the vial, he'd gain that power. He'd become unstoppable. Well, great. What are we gonna do to stop him, then? We beat him to it. Just that easy. We just beat him to it. I'll turn around to see that Lily has hopped onto Adrian's computer. How did you get past my security protocols? Oh, please. Like, I can't get around some baby town protocols. Anyway, check this out. Is this what you saw, Amy? Lily swings the monitor towards you, where you see a picture of the amulet you saw on the tomb, labeled Amulet of Nero. Yes, that's it exactly. Lily swings the monitor back towards her. According to the article, it's currently in possession of Langdon Kavinsky, a Vegas billionaire who collects antiques. Well then, I guess we only have one choice. Road trip! We're heading to Vegas, baby! Alright, speaking of which, I hope y'all did enjoy. Please remember to like the video, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you also receive notifications when I upload content. And speaking of awesome content, so, hey, you know, if you guys ever want to support me, you can join on YouTube, that little join button. It does help to keep pumping out content. It helps for Diamond Editions, it helps for other games, and it helps for much more content that I hope you want to see. And then if you head down description below, down in that is links to Twitter, Facebook, Discord, all of our social media platforms, as well as links to support the content. And you know, hey, maybe you want to be like, you know what, I heard your birthday's coming up on in June. You know, maybe you want to be like, hey, you know, maybe $1, maybe just $1, you know, just minimum. You want to be like, yeah, I'm going to support you. I thank you for the years, going on 3 years in August of content that you have put out. I'm very happy with your shit, Locum. It'd be awesome if you did that. So, And without further ado, hopefully I see you guys in Discord. We do Rabbit. I don't know if you know what that is. That's pretty much where me or someone else will stream movies, episodes of popular TV shows, and things like that. It's pretty awesome. So feel free to head over to Discord. We do that quite frequently, actually. We've done it twice in the last 2 days. So, yeah. And then you also receive notifications, and you also get to chat with me, as well as many other people. It's a lot of fun. So, catch you all in the next video. Peace!